we are going to talk about how to stay out of your head during sex because a lot of women struggle with that. There are many reasons, none of which are because there is anything wrong with you. So, before we get into this simple exercise that I want to teach you today, in which I use almost every sexual experience, I want to tell you who I am. My name is Janna Denton-Howes, and I am a sex coach. I support women who are married to men who, the women, don't want or enjoy sex very much. That was my situation for years and years and years in my marriage. I figured out how to change that all, and now I've taught hundreds of women through my signature program, Wanting It More. So, in this video, again, I'm going to give you a very simple exercise to get out of your head and all your to-do lists and all of the things making you crazy all the time and into your body so that you can genuinely enjoy yourself. It makes sense if you're struggling with this because I think as women, we live in our heads about 90% of the time. We are told that productivity and multitasking and getting things done is where our value lies. Furthermore, often our bodies have been sources of pain, of shame, and confusion about what's going on with them. So it's just safer for us to not inhabit our bodies, to live in our heads where we seem to be valued the most. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to transition magically into be these sensual, sensate focused human beings when nothing in our world supports that. So, if you haven't gotten the message already, it is not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. The women I support almost all struggle with this. So, before I get into this simple exercise, I really want to highlight three main points. Number one, regardless of what you've been told or what you've been experienced or what your head tells you, it's safe to be in your body. If you're in a loving, non abusive, non toxic relationship, and even so, it is safe to be in your body if you have those healthy boundaries. So it's safe to be there. And the more you can work on allowing yourself to settle into your sensations, the happier you really will be. Point number two, the more connected, excuse me, you are with your body, the more connected sex becomes. We're taught that we need to focus primarily on our husband's pleasure and their experience, and that's what's going to make sex more connected. And that's going to make it more fulfilling and satisfying for us, which is not true. The truth is, the more you can be in your own body, the more connected you are with yourself, the more connected that connection is possible with something else. Because you're up in here, that's just think all day through, and that leads me to point number three, which is we can't think our way to pleasure. Pleasure is felt through our nerves, through our sensations. That's where the magic happens. We're taught to try to think our way to arousal because if we can just get aroused, then we can prove that we work, and that we can work towards orgasm and penetration, which has become the definition of sex in our culture. And I just encourage you to take on a new definition, which is you're exploring an intimate connection through your sensations in your body. And it can be in your body, it can be in your emotions, it can be in your soul. If you have a belief around spirituality as well, but they stem from the body. Okay, so now that we're all on the same page here, we know that it's safe to be in your body. We know that the more you're connected with yourself, the more you can connect with your partner. and you know that pleasure is in your body. It's not thinking your way to arousal. How can I get horny? How can I enjoy myself? How can I have an engorgement of my tissues? Did you know women have engorgement of their tissues as well? Yes, they do. It's in here. So, this is a really simple exercise, and you can do it yourself, or you can have your husband join you and be your pleasure coach, which I think is really fun. And that's what we do in our relationship. So, this exercise is to be used when you're having a hard time transitioning into the sexual experience, or maybe in the beginning, the middle, wherever you are in your time together. If you find yourself in your head ruminating over your to do lists, wondering what's going to happen with our world, big stuff, little stuff, whatever. This happens to me all the time. You know, a thought pops in your head and it's just like, are you trying to figure it out and think? This is a great simple exercise to use during that time. So you can either ask yourself these questions or you can have your husband do them. And I encourage you to have your husband help you, because that's what they're there for. You're partners for life. That's what marriage is. It's not about just providing needs for one another. Actually, it's never about that. It's about supporting and encouraging and being there. And your husband actually has an amazing capacity for single focus, especially in the sexual experience. So why not elicit that and become this amazing complementary team? So here's what he can do, or you can ask these questions yourself. Number one, where in your body are you feeling pleasure? That's a simple question. When I say pleasure, I'm not talking about fireworks. I'm not talking about like amazing, crazy, out of this world experience. No, it's just slightly positive. Just slightly positive. Our nerves can feel pain. Give yourself a pinch. You can feel some pain. They can feel kind of neutral, like, or they can feel slightly enjoyable. So that's what we're going for. Where in your body are you feeling pleasure, aka some slightly enjoyable sensations? There's no pressure here. I don't want you to think, nowhere. I'm feeling pleasure nowhere. My body doesn't work. What's wrong with me? No. It's like, oh, I can feel the pillow on the back of my neck. I'm feeling some pleasure there. Then, question number two is, what does it feel like? Describe describe the sensation. It feels soft. It feels snuggly. It feels comforting. I feel like I could just let my head go on the pillow, and that's delightful. I kind of even like the way my hair follicles are getting touched by the pillow. Okay, just describe the sensation. You can get even more into it. If your husband is good at asking questions, you could ask questions like, if it had a color, what would it be? Or if it had a shape, what would it be? Or tell me more. If it sang a song, what would the song sound like? And then you just continue. Where else in your body are you feeling pleasure? And then you move to the next part, and the next part, and the next part. And that usually what happens is you settle into your body. And that's where pleasure can be cultivated and witnessed and enjoyed. And then maybe that pleasure may or may not, doesn't matter, doesn't make it more acceptable, but it may then move into pleasure, wanting to explore more pleasure. So if you're experiencing pleasure in your feet and they feel good and warm, maybe you want a foot rub. Maybe you want to enhance that pleasure. Maybe you want to narrow down into the little pleasure you're feeling between your big toe and the other toe that's next to it. And you want to really get into that. Great sex is not about thinking your way to arousal. Great sex is just getting out of your head, into your body, enjoying some fun and playful time together. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be serious. And you can pop in and out of your head as much as you need to. So, I hope this simple exercise has been helpful for you. And I just want you to know before we say goodbye is that this might be a lifelong journey for you. And it's totally fine if it is. It actually makes complete sense. There's so many messages from culture that tell us that our bodies are not a great place to live in. They need to act a certain way, look a certain way, react a certain way, and that can create a very confusing and disconnected experience with our bodies. So I really just want to encourage you that you are normal, that you are not broken, that this is an experience shared by many, and it's totally okay to use this exercise how often you need to. There's no fixing or healing from this. Furthermore, your brain is beautiful, and all the thoughts you're thinking and the multitasking and the thinking about the future, those are all good things. These are not bad things. But once in a while, it's nice to crawl into a little cozy cocoon with your husband and feel some pleasurable sensations in your body. And I hope this simple exercise has helped you and also help you and your husband become a better team in the bedroom. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.